Welcome back to the Effective Classroom Practices Asynchronous Training Series. This session will focus on Module 5, Employing Active Supervision, and it has been adapted by the co-developed hybrid training by the State Support Team Regions 6 and 10. Outcomes of this session include understanding the importance of implementing active supervision in the classroom, and learning ways to arrange the classroom in order to increase supervision and student engagement. Please pause the presentation to view the two videos titled Scanning and Circulating and Employ Active Supervision. As you are viewing them, I strongly encourage you take notes over the key details that most resonate with you. When you're finished, you may proceed to the next slide. Both videos can be found on the Module 5 section of your syllabus, and the activity total should take you approximately 15 minutes to complete. That includes time to watch both videos and time to pause periodically to take notes. After viewing the previous two videos, on slide 3, please complete the review activity, which can be found in the Module 5 section of your syllabus. It should take you approximately 10 minutes to complete. The research shows that using active supervision, such as moving, looking, interacting with students, and providing positive reinforcements, results in a decrease in minor behavior incidents. So we're not referring to the high-level behaviors, just talking about low-level behaviors such as being off task. With-itness is a term that was created by Jacob Kunin to describe the teacher's awareness of what is going on in all parts of the classroom at all times. Active supervision, both verbally and non-verbally, communicates to all students the certainty that you will inspect what you expect. So a good rule of thumb is teacher behavior remains the same when teaching, when encouraging students, or when addressing problem behavior. If you are actively supervising, you are considered to be with it or have with-itness. Have you ever noticed when you step into certain classrooms, you get the feel for the climate of the room that is mirrored by the teacher's enthusiasm and student engagement? Well, we all know that that climate doesn't occur automatically. The teacher has to set up certain conditions and organize the environment so that life in the classroom is positive and orderly. Let's look at these in some more detail. According to Anita Archer, we need to design space so that blind spots in the classroom are minimized and the high traffic areas are free from congestion so that everybody can move easily around the room. So students should face the teacher during instruction without having to turn around. Think about rooms that you've been in where half of the students are facing their table mates when the teacher is instructing the whole class. And think about when you're in training, it's much easier to get off task when your back is turned to the trainer. We want to also remember to post materials on the wall that support instructional efforts, such as rubrics, class rules, calendars, etc. So we want to make sure that we can see our students and they can see us, and that they also can see the instructional materials that you are referencing in your lesson. When we think about employing active supervision, we need to consider whether or not students have access to the materials you're asking them to use during your lesson. We also need to think about whether or not we, as the teacher, have access to all of our students, which requires having clear paths throughout the classroom. The key is to constantly be moving about in your classroom during all activities. Think about moving with a purpose. Know who your non-compliant students typically are and be sure that you have access to them at all times. Not all students can sit in the front of the classroom all of the time, so having access to students and materials is a proactive and preventative behavioral management strategy that's easy to implement. Another consideration is whether or not your students are arranged in a way that actually supports the learning in the classroom. Every furniture arrangement supports a different type of learning. The key is to design the arrangement of the room to allow for minimal transition time between the different types of learning, rather than the way that the custodians prefer. Given that instruction will vary throughout the day or even throughout your class or your lesson, room arrangements should be adjusted based on the purpose of the instruction. When students are seated in rows, this can lower the number of disruptive behaviors. But sometimes we need them to work together in groups to support group problem solving and application of knowledge. Additionally, this structure validates and affirms cultures that value collective work, community building, and responsibility. On your syllabus and Module 5 resources, you will see an activity titled Designing the Environment. Please download it at this time and save it to your own device. Next, open it up and choose the classroom arrangement of your preference. Slide 2 shows an elementary arrangement and Slide 3 shows a secondary arrangement. Once you've selected which arrangement you want to focus on, review the classroom looking for visibility, accessibility, and task concerns. Then identify what area of concerns you notice, followed by ways or suggestions that you could improve it. You will be taking notes on slide 4 of the document. If you scroll to the next slide of this presentation, you'll see a picture of the note slide for your reference. Slide 4 of the activity allows you to record the problematic areas of concern that you noticed, as well as make suggestions for improvement. This activity should take approximately 20 minutes to complete. When you're finished, be sure to check out the document titled Activity Designing the Environment Possible Answers to see how your peers have completed the activity in a hybrid model of this training while working in groups. This is a way that you can compare your areas of concern and suggestions for improvement to theirs. If you have any questions, please contact Tiffany Fluga at the State Support Team, Region 6.